maybe if it gets to that point, yeah, at some point. Hold on one second.
Talked in the past about team resiliency after the blow that you guys had with that 5 inning to respond in the way they did. Just what can you say about that?
Yeah, that today was another sign of this group. You know, last night after the game, I could sense there was more emotion and anger in the group than I've seen all year, and obviously it kind of filtered over to today. You know, I mean, they showed what they're made of and the grit that they have, the belief that they have in themselves, and you know, that's just a great team win today. So coming off last night, you know, you always want to see a rebound, and obviously they showed up ready to play today, and yeah, it was fun.
After a couple of performances for Mason that maybe weren't up to his standards, for him to go 5 outs today, I think it's the first time all year. Just what can you say about his performance?
Yeah, that's you know, Mason at his best right there. You don't like to do that, but he had 4 days off, and I felt confident in the workload that he was fresh. You know, Fergie's been grinding a little bit, but game on the line in the 8th inning, you know, we didn't execute a double play ball to get out of the inning. You know, it put us in a situation where I felt like we needed to go to Mason and we needed a strikeout. And it's not easy. Ferg's been great for us, and you know, taking him out of the game, making that decision. You know, obviously you have confidence in Ferg, but you know, with Mason there and getting 5 outs for us, it was a big momentum swing in the game there, and it showed up with us scoring, and then we got bottom of the game.
Overall, obviously a lot of offense, but for Shea, the homer and the double breaking open, just how big were those 2 at-bats?
We haven't talked too much about Shea, you know, on the offensive side, but this kid's been hammering the baseball and hasn't gotten the results, and it was great to see, especially the double over Grisham's head, you know, a ball that he's hit hard, 100 plus, land on the ground, as opposed to in a glove. And you know, that's the mindset for Shea. He's as steady as anyone when it comes to results. Very occasionally will you see him snap, and yet today we saw the smile. So there in the before the top of the 9th, I kind of joked with him and said it's good to see you smile, Shea.
What did you think of JP's series today?
I thought JP was great. You know, he used the sweeper really effectively today. You know, I mean, it's hot. It's hot today. He grinded, you know, 80 plus pitches. You know, I felt like he gave us everything he had, you know, and more, really. So to go through that lineup and only give up 1 run through 5, I thought he did a great job.
You said with the Parade quite a bit. What do you see from those 2?
Paredes been great. I don't want to say he's his personal catcher, but just how games have lined up, he's been able to catch him, and I think he's doing a phenomenal job of managing a game with him. They've got a rapport, they've got a great relationship in terms of the easiness it looks like out there, you know, when they're out there together.
Yeah, thanks on Robert. I think it's true that inning or indicating, but one thing happened. That throw by Soderstrom. Can you talk about that out to third base, very important in that game?
Yeah, that was early in the game. You know, Tyler, again, we know the arm strength and the accuracy. I think that comes from, you know, the catching position, and you know, that was a big out. It was, you know, I think that was good. It was the 2nd inning when it could have got away from us, and to get an inning double play or a double play off of that ball, that was a huge momentum swing in the game as well.
Yes, of course, Wilson was nothing on his own, right?
Yeah, Jacob, he's got that tool. It's a great tool for him. We've talked a lot about using it. You know, the last time he tried to do it, he bunted it, you know, back to the pitcher. And the communication process is, look, if you're going to do that, just put it on the line. And he put a perfect bunt down to get that inning going.
Yes, and that argument there, I'm guessing that you would argue that run should have scored, right?
Yeah, that's one rule in the game that's just, to a certain extent, they may need to address, right? Ball gets lodged, runner at first is already around third base, is automatically scoring, and the runner gets sent back. So my conversation with Gooch was, you know, hey, let it play out, let the play go. We've got replay. There's no need to call it immediately on the field, you know, because if it's not lodged, then you're making a call, and now we have to go back to replay to overturn it. So I'd rather see the call left alone on a lodged ball and let it go to replay.
Back on Jake a little bit. Obviously elevated in the lineup in the last week. Is that a look you think you're liking of him up there with what he does for your lineup? And maybe 2 more hits today, another walk. Just your thoughts.
Yeah, no, right now, I mean, obviously this game is difficult, it's challenging. You know, we go through our ups and downs, and with young players, you try to manage the emotion, you try to manage the the peaks and the valleys as best you can. Right now, Jacob's swinging the bat exceptionally well. He's showing the ability to work counts, get on base with a walk. So he's doing everything that you want him to do in that leadoff spot right now. And Lawrence, if we want to talk about Lawrence was doing that, up until he went through a little bit of a challenging time, and so the reason to get Jacob up was more about both of them and where they're at, in their progression.
Kotsay, you said earlier in the presentation, your team was fueled by anger. What anger were they fueled about? What is
Well, they were just disappointed in their performance last night. They were disappointed in the game, and there's 2 ways that they can bounce back from that, and they bounce back the right way. And I think there's a group in there that wasn't happy about their performance last night, and they came out today and just showed up with a different type of focus, or not different type of focus, just a focus that they wanted to go out and win a game and have a chance to win a series.
compared to the other day when you were down by 5 and the Mariners scored 6 unanswered runs? They came back this time after they were down after that 5-run rally. What did that say about your team?
We were talking just a lot about this group and the resiliency, the grit that they have, and the fight that they've had. They've shown this over the last few years. Anytime, over the last 2 seasons that we've struggled and not had success, they've never shown that through their effort level. So that's really what that group's about.
Your first afternoon game with the degrees or the temperature at 90+ degrees, did you learn anything about the way the ball carried, and in particular the first home run and Shay's 2 hits late? Did those carry maybe a little bit more than expected?
I thought you were going to ask if I lost any weight today.
Did you lose any weight?
I'm excited about that process. Yes. The ball seemed to carry a little bit better today. And again, we're still in this tryout phase of learning about the ballpark, learning about the weather, learning about how it's going to play. The question last night from John in terms of home road, like we don't know yet. I mean, there's just not enough. There's not enough data behind how this park's really going to play itself out.
Thanks, guys.